Hi, everybody, and welcome to our third episode, part two of Women in Pool. And today, I would like we have some really great guests tonight. I'd like them to introduce themselves as well as part of our panel. We'll start with JoAnn and then go down to underneath and go right around in a circle. So, um, I can't hear JoAnn.
I can't either.
She was just fine. I don't know what happened. Okay, we'll start with we'll go down right there. So
Me?
uh, no introduction
Can you
for
hear
you, but
me?
yeah.
Okay. I'm LoreeJon Oganowski Brown. I like lots of last names. Um, and I'm happy to be here.
And Lori is LoreeJon, excuse me. LJ is part of the WPBA.
Mhm.
Okay, and we just finished the tournament, right?
Yes, we
At the
just finished our
WPBA.
first tournament at Northern Lights in Minnesota. And headed this coming week, I'm headed to Vegas for the Predator, the Pro Series event.
There we go.
So excited, pretty excited about that.
Awesome. And next we have Kristina.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristina Tkach, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Kristina. And Kristina, you just recently placed fourth in a tournament.
Yep,
Was it an all male tournament? I believe.
yeah, I think I was the only girl in there.
Go, Kristina.
There we go. That's power right there. Congratulations. All
Thank
right.
you.
Next we have Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Rousey, and I'm also happy to be here.
Okay. Sarah, you placed, was it 9th through 12th in the WPBA event?
Yep.
Okay. And we've got to get back to JoAnn somehow here.
She's
No.
talking, but she can't be. We can't hear you, Joe.
Maybe she should go back out and come back in again.
Yeah.
I think she can. I think she can hear
Hey.
you guys. But
Hello, Mark. How are you? Yeah, we're just having a little bit of JoAnn will be right back. So tonight we're going to be talking more about we were talking about the versus 10 ball, different disciplines. I mean, this is like, everybody's thought on. Oh, there's Ava. Ava's come in. And we were talking about. Oh no, Ava's there. She is.
there was Ava.
There we
Yes,
go.
right.
No, that's JoAnn now.
Yes, JoAnn.
It's musical windows here.
Now can we hear
Um,
JoAnn?
Can we hear JoAnn,
Can you hear me now?
please? Yes. And Ava popped
Yes?
in too. So, all right. So we'll just start. So basically, what we were talking about was should we have one set of rules? Should every tournament or tour across the United States stick with the WPA rules, which were better known as the WPBA rules, but then they dropped that. Now I'm frozen.
Like a worldwide rule set.
It feels like the Northern Lights again here. Should we? What are your thoughts on the 3-point rule? What are your thoughts on 9-ball? Call the 9. What are your thoughts about winning an 8-ball match? An 8-ball match. Should someone me sitting down? Should you be able to win sitting in your chair? These are the things that little bit talk about here, and we can veer from here anywhere that somebody would like to.
So I'll start with this because my feelings on it are fairly simple. I think that pool has a hard time being serious and being taken serious around the country because I love golf because whether I play golf here or in Scotland or in Asia it's the same rules. They don't change. And pool has so many different rules. You play someone and they're like, well, how do you play? Do you play push out? Do you play this? Do you play that? So in a nutshell, for me, yes, I wish there was one set of rules for 9-ball, 10-ball, 8-ball, just across the board, because then it would just be, it would make life a lot easier rather
So
than
now,
changing all the time.
what about like tours such as mine? Because I'm an amateur tour. Do you think that that would hold the players who are not of
Yes,
pro status?
the only thing that I would say for an amateur tour is, let's say, don't do the 3-point rule. Something like that. If you have
Right.
people who can't break hard or something like that. If you're a professional, you should be able to break the balls hard enough, no matter what. But for an amateur, that maybe take the 3-point thing away. But other than that, the rule, it's just my opinion, the rules should be the rules. Push
Right.
out, no push out. I don't care what they are, but there should be one set of rules, and it's going to take a long time for that to happen, I think.
Hi,
And
Ava.
welcome, Ava. Welcome,
Hi,
Ava.
everybody.
Hey,
Hello.
Hi. We were just talking about the WPA, what used to be the WPBA, but they took it out because of the conflict of not knowing WPBA. We're talking about standardizing the rules. We're going back to part 2 of that because it was such a popular thing. So we were getting LJ's, LoreeJon's opinion on that. So, Kristina, do you have an opinion? What are your thoughts, especially placing in the all males, right, in 4th place, but phenomenal, outstanding job. I cannot say enough about that. What are your thoughts on that? What rules did they play there, and do you think that you would want to have a standardized rule set across the board?
Well, I think I completely agree with LoreeJon, and I think rules should be same worldwide. And for amateurs, I think it should be the same, because if you look at snooker, they also have amateurs tournaments, like semi-professional tournaments, and the rules is not being changed depending on your level skills. I mean, it would motivate people more, to practice more, to try to get better, to fit in those rules, but rules shouldn't be changed depending on your skill level. So, and I think this will help, as LoreeJon said, pool get more recognition as professional sport, because if everybody knows rules, at least it would already look like more, more professional. Like there's only
Right.
one rules, there's no like push out, no push out, 3-point rules or not. So I think it should be same everywhere, because
Okay.
also if you play and you're a girl, or you try to be professional, you're a kid, and you can compete in semi-professional tournaments or amateur tournaments, in a hope that one day you'll be able to compete in a professional tournaments, and it's going to be more motivation for people, who want to take it serious, play in such tournaments, amateur tournaments. It has to start somewhere, right? You can't just show up in the professional tournament, being a girl, or just amateur player. You want to start somewhere, and I think amateur tournaments is a good trampoline for you to start somewhere in order to progress for the professional tournament.
There should definitely be a difference, though, between an amateur tournament and a professional tournament. I believe that
Yeah.
there should be separation between the two. I 100% believe that myself. But looking at it now, we're talking about tournaments. We're not talking about things such as, now we'll go down to Ava, because I'd like to kind of tie that in. So people will say, well, people will come to me and say, well, what are your thoughts about that with league? Now, league is something totally different than a tournament. So Ava, what are your thoughts on that? Should it be standardized? And should we have a separation, because the APA is different than other, I don't want to mention any others right now, but other leagues per se. So do you think that we should have WPA, etc.?
Sorry, somebody's typing, so I'm trying to listen to you. We're talking.
No,
I
Oh, that
I think
I don't know. I can't hear it.
it
it
drives me
sounds like
crazy.
someone's typing or eating.
No, it's not here.
Something. Anyway, I think the main thing is that you really have 3 levels of play, and I know what Kristina is saying. If you're talking about competition in around the world needs to be the same. You have amateurs that are vying to be professionals. Amateurs, just like in tennis and anything else, you have amateurs that are dreaming of being a professional player. But then you have league amateurs, which is what's frankly keeping our industry alive. In my little area here, we have 1,400 players that play league every single week. Many of them play several times a week. They have no aspiration. They are 45 years old. They have no dream, no possibility of ever making even strict amateur pool, certainly not pro pool, but they buy $1,500 cues, $3,000 cues. They buy gloves, they buy a pool table. They are what's driving the industry, and that's actually bringing money into that is then feeding into the pros. You take the league play out, especially in the United States, and most of our companies would be out of business. Most of our pool rooms would be out of business. You can ask any of the pool rooms that have league play in the United States anyway, they would have no business. Now, it doesn't have a lot to do with what we consider an amateur pool as far as becoming a pro. In my area, we have a few select people that have a chance, that are young, that have desire. I have one girl that I was saying, stop fooling around, watch Kristina Tkach play, and you'll see what desire means if you want to be better. But most of these guys just want to go out and actually play pools. So for them to play by the rules that we play by, they don't even know what a double hit is. It's almost impossible to explain what a double hit is. The beginners, your 70-year-old woman that has a $2,000 cue, she is not interested in, she could never compete with somebody if you could push out. So I think you need to separate league play from amateurs, and then you go up to pros. An amateur is somebody who's aspiring to become a pro. But I agree. What's crazy to me is what we've evolved in, and I want to go into a different area, if you don't mind, real quick. The thing that I think that we finally changed to in the WPBA when I was involved, that we've kind of reverted back now, because players should have a lot of say in things, but we should be limited to a certain extent and have people who are actually running the business of it. We just want to play. We care about, we want to have races to 30 so the best player can win. Well, other than pool players, nobody's going to be interested in a race to 30. You'll fall asleep about halfway through unless you're a diehard pool player. So as far as like the WPBA tour, the best thing we did was when we had, and I personally try to push towards what Mosconi Cup is doing, is the shorter races so that every ball matters. Yeah. Not when you get in the zone and you're starting to play and you're starting to find that momentum and everything else and running 4 racks. But every ball, you get a break, alternate breaks, you get a break, you better make the best of it. Mm-hmm. And your opponent will do the same. That way it keeps the audience's interest. And by growing the audience, you grow the prize money for the players. And I know it's a lot of pressure on players to have a race to 5, but it keeps the audience interested. And sometimes you have to tell the players, for your own good, no, we need to, is it about you winning or is it about the sport?
You making money.
Yeah.
You're making money and growing and getting people to actually watch, to where people that are young, I mean, we inspired LoreeJon and JoAnn. We inspired a lot of people through the years. Allison, myself, LoreeJon, Jeanette, we were on television in Asia. We sold WPBA to Asia. We sold it to Europe. And all these young players are coming up now, and there's nothing, until this year, there has been nothing to play in. Well, we can't just count on people who are pool fans. We need to grow the audience. We need to grow the grassroots and get people from the outside of billiards that don't really care about billiards that much to go, wow, this is exciting. And how do you do that? Well, not a race to 30.
Right, right. I just wanted to, before we go any further, we have Kelly Fisher stopping in, the champ of the Northern Lights.
Gloria,
Or
I can't
camp.
hardly hear you. Somebody is typing and it is so loud on this end.
What
I
is
can't.
that? Because it's not
Whoever is
me.
typing
Yeah, I
needs
can't
to
hear.
stop.
It's
It's gone.
okay.
Use a pen
Now,
and paper.
now it's stopped.
Okay,
Thank you.
wait. So,
Hold on, I
Kelly
got to go through the
is
dogs.
Go
all right.
back.
So Kelly is here, but she's via voice. Sarah, I want to get to Sarah too. Where's Kelly? Kelly, can you hear
I'm
us?
here. I'm here. Can you
I
hear
don't know
me?
what that ticking is again.
It's
Yeah.
definitely somebody typing on a
I think
computer.
someone just put a finger on the microphone or something on the phone.
What happened?
It's not
I have like a
me.
crackling noise.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
it's
not
gone
gone
again. All right. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
I'm good, Gloria. Hi, girls. And who else is in? Hello, everybody.
We have.
Hey, Kelly. Hey,
Hey,
champ.
Kelly.
How you doing?
Congratulations, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. I've just come from the pool, so you can't see me because my hair's everywhere. And I'm glowing red from the Vegas sunshine.
So yes, congratulations, and we're happy. She says she really doesn't have that over there in the UK. What is that noise? That's I. So so congratulations to you, Kelly.
Thank
I'm
you.
not sure what that is. So you're beet red right now.
Yes, I am. I'm pretty red and glowing, so I'm gonna have to calm it down before I play my next match.
Okay. And what time is your match?
I play at 8:30 my time here in Vegas. It's now 4 p.m. So I'm gonna go grab food, shower, go grab food, and then go and get ready for my match.
Okay. Well, we
Well,
wanted you to stop
Mitsunikki
in.
wants to say congratulations, Kel.
Oh, thank you guys, thank you. It was a great event actually. First time there, and it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. And they put on a fabulous event, so it was really good. It was good. Glad to have a full circuit, a full schedule ahead. I think the WPBA is, we're getting back to where we were, which is exciting.
It is very.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So-
I'm the only one who, I think I'm the only one who hasn't played in the WPBA here, but that's okay. I watched a lot, so, so I don't know what that, okay, so clicking's gone again. So sorry about this, everyone. Sorry to the audience, and sorry to the people who are in here. Kelly, we don't want to hold you up, but we love to have you stop in. We want to say thank you so much, and we wanted to congratulate you on Women in Pool, because that's what of course this is about here. And we hope that you really just do really well there.
Well,
at the Predator event.
I hope to beat up on some men. I won last night on the shootout.
Go, Kelly.
Yeah, I won last night on the shootout. So my next match today is Gomez. So that's going to be a tough one, but I'll give it my all. Missing you guys, missing Ava. I've not seen you in forever. I've seen the other two. And poor Kristina, I'm so sorry you're not here, girl. Miss you too.
I know.
I know. I'm so sorry for everything, but what can I say? I don't know what to say about that, but miss you here. And listen, guys, you enjoy, and great having Women in Pool. We all rock, so let's keep going. I love you all, and I'll see you soon.
Love you
See you,
too.
All
Kelly.
right,
Good
Kelly.
luck.
sounds good.
All
Good
right.
luck.
You too.
All
And by
right,
the way,
guys.
Kelly, don't feel. Not saying don't feel bad for Kristina, but Kristina went and whipped up upon I don't know how many men and came in 4th place. So
I seen that.
She did some justice for the
Indeed.
ladies for sure.
You go, girl. You go, girl. Keep ripping
Okay.
it up. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Take
So
care.
we-
Love to meet
that
you,
you
Nikki.
too.
See you later.
All right,
Bye,
will
guys.
do.
So long.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good luck, baby girl.
Thanks, darling. See you soon,
And
girls. Bye-bye.
Kelly, notice I
Yes?
didn't do the British accents at all, because I
Thank-
want your head to be in the game.
Thank God. That's all I can say. Thank you, Gloria. That just
You're very welcome. Consider it your Christmas present.
Indeed. And everybody else's Christmas present too.
Okay, well, thank you, Kelly. It was great to hear you, have you on. Moving along.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys.
So long, Kelly. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
I absolutely adore Kelly. All right, so we interrupted Ava. I'm sorry about that, Ava. I do want to get to also JoAnn and Sarah for sure about this.
Sarah keeps popping in and
She
out.
keeps popping in and out. But Ava, please continue.
No, I was pretty much done. I can go on and on, but I'm not gonna.
JoAnn, we can't hear JoAnn again. Boy, I'm so happy that I purchased this restream. It's not the restream? Oh, okay. All right, so...
It's showing that she has no signal on that.
JoAnn,
there
we
it is.
can't hear you.
Yeah, JoAnn has 1 dot of signal.
So that's probably why, because what we'll do is...
There's this one little red dot right there.
when the network connection is low, it won't be able to carry the video and the audio
I didn't even
at the
see
same
that.
time.
So, can you hear me, JoAnn? Yeah. We need to update your Wi-Fi. We'll get a little fun together so we can send it over and get some Wi-Fi.
Yeah, she might need to pop back out and come back in again.
Can you pop out and come back in? Because I want to hear what JoAnn has to say. And what happened to Sarah? Has Sarah gone completely?
Yeah, she hasn't popped back in.
She hasn't
I don't know
popped
whether she
back
had an
in.
issue or not.
Maybe she had some issue with the Wi-Fi as well.
Everybody, see the group that's here, that stayed, you can see that the internet is strong.
All right, so Sarah's not going to be coming back tonight, but she's going to be coming back another time. All right. So, thoughts on
JoAnn's-
9.
We'll be able to hear her now, I bet.
See JoAnn. All right, JoAnn. Did you want to say anything about that?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank God. All right. You have full signal.
Okay,
too.
good.
So, what did you?
I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add to what Ava had said about having the shorter sets and the shorter races. I totally get it. When an audience doesn't really necessarily understand everything and all the nuances of our sport, it's hard to keep an interest. But if something like Ava said, if every single ball counts, it makes a lot of sense. It's like when someone is watching the Olympics and they watch track and field all year long, but then they're watching, it's way more interesting. I'll speak from my perspective, to watch the sprinters versus the marathon runners, because you're going to see a beginning, a middle, and end very quickly. So it makes sense.
Nice correlation.
As much as for the player, we feel like, well, a little bit longer set, the better player has the more the advantage, which is what we'd like to see. We don't want to really see the underdog always being, right there getting equalized with the one who's the favorite. It makes a lot of sense. So I get it.
The best players still win, JoAnn. The best players still win. Once in a while, if a good player on paper doesn't do what they are supposed to do, they may lose, but the best players, we've proven it over and over, the best players still win.
Okay.
I agree with you. I see that as being accurate. I agree. Yeah, definitely.
I have a scenario then. If that's the case, and we do just say that we were to stick by, and Kristina, please, anyone, just speak up. If we were to go WPA, it's winner breaks, correct? So if we were to do that and have these short races, that means that someone doesn't get up to the table.
You can't have winner breaks and short races, obviously.
So then you're going to have, so we're going to have to alternate.
No,
so now
I mean,
we're modifying it.
We're about we're about the only sport on the planet, and everybody, you can't be too afraid of modifying. You don't modify the game, but you can modify things around it, because in football, in basketball, in tennis, about every sport except maybe volleyball, you don't hold the serve. You don't get to continue. You have to take turns, because it's too much of an advantage to have the break, especially at the level of top players. So you need to have both players. And again, I'm not just talking about the best players, I want to make sure I win. I'm talking about selling the game. it's so rare, even the top men players, that they even put 4 racks together on a TV match. Rare. Women, very rare. Yes, you might control the racks. You break, you run out, you break, you play it safe, you break, and whatever. But to actually run racks, and people say, there's no way to come back with alternate break. Well, you shouldn't have gotten behind that much then. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you got behind because you got unlucky, chances are you're going to get lucky at some point in the match. So yeah, by having a Kelly, do her thing on one rack, you either control the table or you don't. Then you have Kristina come up and she controls her rack, and then Kelly comes back and then she does not. Now all of a sudden, and Kristina does, yeah, she's going to be ahead 3-1. But to have that's why straight pool died, because somebody won the lag and said, you go ahead and make the first break, and somebody runs 150 and out, it's over. Right. Nobody wants to see, regular people don't want to see an exhibition. They want to see a battle. They want to see a night, one of these where you bite your nails and it comes down to the very last ball. That's how you sell sports, in my opinion. You watch on TV. Not too many people watch the History Channel unless it's like, some kind of drama in there. But, people want action. People want to see close, fun, exciting matches. And, you see a blowout. If it's 48-3 in a football match, people turn off.
Yeah.
That's it. 4 minutes left. I don't care. Yeah. And trust me, sponsors want you to watch to the very end. Because the minute people turn off, they look at that as a whole match. So when people tune out after a certain point, they go, okay, well, this match is over, and they go on to do something else.
I love the Predator Pro Series I watched Sky Woodward with the little 14-year-old kid from Finland. The kid from Finland won. This 14-year-old just beat Sky, and I was watching it. Came down to the spot shot. The 10-ball spot shot. Yeah. It was so exciting. The only thing that ever excites me watching, and I hate to say it, and I apologize, but I'll watch the Mosconi Cup and I'm screaming, and I'm screaming. My phone is in my hand the whole time. And then this also series, I like it because it is, Ava. Unfortunately, my brain doesn't go beyond a certain point, so it's a quick race to 4. You're going to stay around to see if they win another race to 4, or if the other person, wins that set. And then it's going to go to the spot shot, and it's exciting. It's a good format.
Pressure. If you're a player and you feel pressure, that means that equates to the fans feeling excitement.
Exactly.
So that's something to keep in mind. And it's not that much fun for those of us when we were in our peak of our career to get beat by somebody, but it's not about us. It's about the sport. And the minute you let go of it's got to be longer races so the better players can win. You can do that when you're gambling somewhere, but in the pros, it needs to be exciting for the audience or it won't happen.
Can I ask Kristina's opinion on this? Because we're kind of all from a similar generation, but Kristina's playing from a different generation. And I'd like to hear a little bit more from her because she is the youngest. And Kristina, what are your thoughts on anything about 9-ball, 10-ball? What discipline do you like? What are your thoughts on what the ladies are stating and projecting? You agreed with LoreeJon and Ava in the beginning. Just any thoughts that you have at all in regard to rule sets following singles? Should there be any distinguishment? Should it be just amateur, pro? Your thoughts on anything?
Well, I absolutely agree that the shorter race increase the audience attention because, as Eva said, if it's race to 13, 10-3, nobody's going to even finish watching. Nobody cares because there's no excitement. And I just want to share an example when and we play in European Championships, and they're a team event, right? And there's two women in a team, and then when it comes to 1-1, there's shootouts, and I can swear that whole, like, everybody, even, if it's not their team playing from men, everybody comes to watch. Every single man comes to watch because it's exciting even for men. No matter what it's like, even if it's girls playing, that most of the time men doesn't watch women games. Even that they come up and watch because it is exciting. And I absolutely agree that saying from dominant player or more professional player, you would like a longer race because this increases your chance to win. Of course, like you still always secure a race to 9 if you're playing against amateur player, but it's not about winning because, let's be honest, most of the professional players cannot make living out of just playing pool, and it's very sad. And it's not about how many tournaments you're gonna win, because it's not gonna bring you where you want. You're never gonna be a best pool player that can make a great living like soccer players, golf, rugby, whoever.
Not yet, Kristina, not yet.
Not yet, but I'm saying that, all these world champions, they barely can make their living just out of playing pool. So what's the point to become a world champion? It's
Right.
it's our job. Somehow we make money. Of course, it's our passion, but we gotta, make a living somehow. And it just doesn't make any sense stick with these rules or, long races, because it's not making anybody's money.
Exactly.
So I absolutely
Yeah.
agree that something has to change, and professional players should be able to make their living out of playing pool, no matter what rules
For
are.
sure. For sure. Not only the shorter races are interesting for the audience, but like we just had the tournament at the Northern Lights, right? And I got lucky to be on the stream table a couple of different times. I am sure that the crowd would have loved to have heard the things that I was saying, but there was no microphone. You couldn't hear anything. I was having the greatest time enjoying myself out there after all these years. Like stuff like that has to be, there's a reason why people love to watch certain types of players in tennis and in golf. They want to hear what they have to say. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's
but
more
in
enjoyable.
tennis also,
Not so-
it's only, yeah. Sorry, just to interrupt you. I wanted to say that even though it's like most of the time it's like out of 5 or out of 3 sets in tennis played, but it's only 4 points you gotta get, in order
Right.
to get a point, So it's also kind of exciting because you
Right.
cannot relax in any second in the match because everything can just turn over.
Like
And
that. Yep.
yeah, and when you play race to 9 and you're up 7-1, 7-2, how many mistakes you can do and just get away with that because it's just not interesting anymore to watch. So I'm thinking even the tennis, that's why it's also very exciting to watch because it's like very short and it's momentum. It's all about the momentum. Plus,
Yeah,
we're
and
talking about
that's why it's
equalize.
important that it's alternate breaks, so that it still is going to favor the better player that can actually clean up after the break or control the table or whatever it is. So you give both players an equal chance to make something happen. But again, if you don't have leagues, if you don't have the ground roots, regional programs and all that, I mean, Gloria started talking about, there's no way the different leagues around the country or the world are going to change their rules. But when it comes to you're turning on television or you're turning on live stream and you're watching a professional tournament, the rules need to be unified. And I don't know how we go about that. I think that Moscone Cup is a good leader in this because it's actually a chance. They actually have the organization, the money, the foresight to give this a legitimate shot. And, I don't like the color of the balls very much. But other than that, I think they're right on with what they're trying to do because every match is exciting. You tune into the Moscone Cup and unless one country, I mean, one continent is just crushing the other, which tends to happen. But the individual matches, like day one of Mosconi Cup, to me is a dream because every match is exciting all the way to the end.
Yep.
I agree.
Right. You know, Ava, you know, speaking of leagues, the difference between leagues, amateur tournaments, and pro tournaments is league is handicapped. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so they are going to play under, but still there should be one set of rules, kind of. You know, like there still should be one. You know, the three. I remember a couple of years ago when we decided to implement the 3-point rule. And the reason why we did it is because our girls were going to like Europe and stuff like that and getting annihilated because every break was a foul, you know, and if you're going to do something where you try to get worldwide or Olympics someday, those rules are going to be the same for everybody. And if we're
but as far as league, you can't dictate to a league. That is all.
No. I'm saying the league though already has handicap systems, so it's just different per se. You know what I mean? Like it's just
right.
It's just different. But for the amateur tournament,
absolutely.
Yeah, I really think it's important to have one set of rules rather, you know, I mean, you still have, you know, Ava, you know, you have somebody that comes over and they're like, oh, you did this on the 8 ball, you lost. And I'm like, no, you know, so it's crazy with how many rules that are out there. And I just wish it would get unified somehow, you know, little by little, but.
Even if we use, like I said, even if we use the WPA, there's still going to be some modifications. So, you know, so it's still never going to be one set of rules, because if that's the set of rules and that's how it's written, it has to be followed exactly as is. If it's not followed exactly as is, then it's just modified and we're still not using one single set.
They need to get a committee together.
I think the problem is that through the years, for those of us who have been around for a while, we have changed the rules several times, and I think that is our biggest issue. I remember arguing with LoreeJon's husband Sammy when they were talking about allowing ex-husband allowing jump cues about allowing jump cues, and I said we got to be careful, because if we say yes, I was kind of against it, because I said if we say yes to allow jump cues, we can't change our mind after that, because now every cue manufacturer is going to start making jump cues.
Right.
And then we can't say 5 years from now, no, we're not going to allow jump cues anymore, because every amateur out there saw jump, you know. So you got to understand that whatever decision we make, I mean, when I started, there was no Texas Express where it was ball on. You shot a spot shot. There was no ball on hand anywhere on the table, a 9-ball. So we have changed the rules ourselves and let players kind of decide what rules it, and it's changed so many times through the years that we're partly to blame why these rules keep changing.
Yep. I agree.
What are the thoughts just everyone, just a nay or yay, in 8-ball, if you make the 8 and scratch, should your opponent be able to win? Do you think that it's okay having someone win while sitting down?
I think so. This is exciting.
Sure, you scratched on the 8? Sure.
Yeah, as far you make the 8 and scratch, yes.
JoAnn?
I personally,
Don't
I
do
would
that.
like to see rules before. Right, don't
This
do
is
that.
we have to have.
But I don't know. A part of me feels, and I played 8-ball from the time I was a young kid. I feel that if they still have all their balls on the table and the 8, you scratch on the 8 should get spotted and they get cue ball in hand and they can run out. I don't like the idea of just losing like that. I don't think that's a good rule. I never did think that was a good rule. My opinion.
Yeah, but also every game kind of have to be individual, because otherwise all the games going to look alike. And what's the difference between 8-ball and 10-ball if you spot, you know, balls back?
Good point. Listen, guys, I am as you know, a little bit opinionated, so I can go on and on. But I have my mother and my aunt here from Sweden, and it's 7:15, and they're really hungry.
Okay.
So
can you tell that I've been cooking? Did you see? I had my
I saw
little
you
heater
walking
in my hand.
around. Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, that's a really nice house to have there, LJ.
Thank you. I'm cooking though right now, so
Show me the guest room.
I think we should all get together and get a committee.
So I apologize, but I have to get out. I'm going to make crab cakes tonight, so I've got them all ready to
dear
go.
God, can I
Just
come
send me
over?
the address, Ava.
Yeah,
we'll be there in a little bit.
Wait, a little bit, right after the show.
Hey, I just want to say before I get off, as you guys know, I'm not playing anymore, but I'm really excited to see the tour going again, and I want to wish Kristina, I'm so sorry you're not able to play right now. I'm hoping it's going to get back on real soon. JoAnn, welcome back to the frickin' tour, girl. I'm so proud of you and excited you're back and giving it a shot. And LoreeJon, you know what? Take one for the almost 60s and go win one of these tournaments, will you?
I'm trying.
For the rest of us. All right. Thanks, Gloria.
Thank you, Ava. Thank you for coming. Thank
Bye.
you. We appreciate it. All right. So, does anybody want to discuss anything else that in a tournament may have bothered you and you thought to yourself, this really shouldn't be? So LJ and I had talked about 9-ball versus 10-ball. Thoughts on, should the 9-ball be called, Kristina?
No, because as I said earlier, it has to be individual every game. If you just make all the games similar, then what's the point to play different games at all?
That's the way
Like
I
the
feel.
9-balls, is the 9-balls going to look alike with a 10-ball? What's the difference? There's no difference at all. And that's the point of the 9-ball. It's more exciting, it's more watchable, because if you just fluke the ball, it's okay. If you just it is part of the game.
That's the game. Okay. All right. And LJ agrees 100%, right? JoAnn, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm mixed on it. I played all summer up in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut, all over in the tri-state area, and we're talking about rules. You have no idea how many different sets of rules I was playing up there against all these guys. So
I do, because Ride the 9 Tour has its own set of rules too.
I know. So everywhere, basically, I don't know that I played any tournament where they played where the 9 was wild. How nuts is that? So the pros are playing where it's wild, but on this other level, this regional level, against players that play great, but still, they're playing where you have to call the 9. So I don't know. I like call the 9 because I remember when Facebook was first live, Darren Appleton was on and he was doing this Facebook Live, and I asked, I typed it really quickly. I said, Darren, if there's one thing you could change in 9-ball, what would it be? And he said, to at least have 1 ounce of skill in 9-ball, basically. I'm paraphrasing here, please, in case Darren comes back on. And he says, I would like the 9 to be called. So at least, the money ball, the one thing to be called. And you could fluke everything else in. And that was his thought. And at that point, I changed, the 9 from just anywhere to being called. So what are your thoughts on the 9-ball? So the 9-ball going in the bottom pockets, should it count a 9 on the snap all the time, anytime?
I like if you make the 9-ball. I can't hear really well right now, so I apologize if I'm talking over someone, because the level of is like so low right now. I keep going like this to hear JoAnn and everyone talk. But the 9-ball, when you rack and the 9-ball just flies in either corner pocket, I mean, it gets really old, especially it just does. It gets old. Either the spot needed to be changed, or it just doesn't count in those two. Counts in the other, the high 2 or the side pockets.
Okay, so you're saying you'd rather have it not count?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't for years, so why? I mean, I'm gonna be okay with it.
Kristina?
You mean from the break?
Yes.
The only thing is on official tournaments, it's being wrecked, like the balls being wrecked by the referee, and if it's gonna happen, which is very unlikely, if you wreck balls with triangle or with a magic rack, it's very unlikely 9 ball goes in a bottom, pockets. If of course if there is self racking, then it shouldn't count because
Right,
it's
rack your
just
own.
like a lot of
Yeah.
people cheat with a rack. It's not a surprise. So if it's rack your own, then for sure it shouldn't be counted, because then it's not about the level of your game skill, but just the level of your racking
Ability to
skill,
rack.
yeah. Ability to
JoAnn?
rack, which is not really good.
I feel that if they are going to count it on the break, it should be counted in all the pockets. And if they're not going to count it in the front two, don't count it anywhere.
All or nothing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, I think it's confusing for the people watching, personally. but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. And what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on? So I have a tour, and what are your thoughts on the smaller tours adopting the WPA or one unified set? Because all of us are not in agreement. So obviously, tour directors are not going to be in agreement. They're going to want to do, as Ava was talking about, well, what do the players want? But we can only do that to a certain extent. Doing this for 14 years, we've changed and modified so many different times. I'm at the point now where I'm ready for a retirement from the industry and this, because of all the the constant, I don't like this one. You're never going to please anyone anyway, no matter what you do. Even if you unify, it's just not going to happen. But I'm not really sure what we should do with me personally, the smaller tours, such as my own. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2007. Do we say we're going to all use WPA Texas Express and make simple modifications, or not? I mean, what are your thoughts
Gloria,
on that?
Gloria, if I could just say quickly,
Yes,
I know
absolutely.
earlier Ava had said and spoken, and I think LoreeJon also mentioned about how, I think it was you, LoreeJon, who said about golf being the same all over and you know what the rules are. That's not 100% true. I played for years in my club up in New Hampshire, in Bethlehem, golf, and our rules for our club championship were not pro rules. They were all different. And down here in Florida, where Robert plays, my husband Robert, where he plays in his club, the rules are not 100% the same as what those amateur rules were up north. So they're not always the same. And I think
Yeah,
for
but
the
they're
leagues,
fun.
that
I
are
mean, they're fun
tours-
tournaments like Captain's Choice and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're just, even for a club championship, those rules for one club are not the same for another club all the time.
Yeah,
They're not.
You're talking
The pro makes their
such
own
a small
decisions.
percentage.
Yeah, but they make their own choices how they do it. They just do. You have no idea how many different rules they make depending on the level of players that they have.
Right.
I mean, if they don't have people who can break, who are playing in their tournaments who can't break 90, they're not going to give them the same rules as they are people who are shooting in the at least 80s and 70s. They're just not.
Yeah, but it's
They
one
don't
set
do
of
that.
rules in the sense that you have 72, you have 72, the numbers and everything are pretty much the same.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm
but
not
they
talking.
still
I'm not talking hacks or or something. But every tournament. I mean, I played a lot of golf. Every tournament that I've played in, other than like handicap or Captain's Choice or something like that, but it's
Yeah.
pretty much all the same. There's too many rules in pool. My opinion.
Kristina?
I absolutely agree. I mean, too many rules, and we should,
It,
I would say,
it's
come up
just
to,
confusing. Yeah.
yeah. And it has to be simple, as you said. If like one pocket it doesn't count, other pocket it counts, it gets just too complicated. It has to be simple,
agree.
because pool is very
Yeah.
simple. It's a very simple game, and we just try to complicate it more.
right, by appeasing the players, but then the other players get upset, and then you go from one tournament to the next tournament, and you're thinking of the rule set from the tournament before that. So,
Exactly.
and then you're
And
confused
I
on
agree
it,
with
and I've
JoAnn, the break thing, it either should count or it shouldn't count.
Right.
Because I'm trying to think of the poor audience. So the audience in Northern Lights, right? The girl breaks, right? Great break. Two balls go in, but not one passes the other line. And I'm at the table. Like,
Right,
and the people are like, huh?
right,
No,
right, and that's what I was
personally,
talking
don't
about
like
with the
that rule.
8.
And I hit them hard, and I don't like that rule. I think it's bad for the audience.
I think they should adopt the 9 on the spot like Europe.
That's what I was going to next.
And take away
What are your thoughts on 9 on the spot? And Kristina, I want to go to you
I
first.
think it's good. Listen, guys,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I've got to go out. Otherwise, my dinner's going to burn.
No,
Okay,
yeah, no.
we're gonna call her LJ, but we're gonna call her Rachel Ray for right
But
now.
I don't mind the 9 on the spot. Just to let you know. Bye.
I like the 9 on the spot personally. All right,
See you
LJ,
guys.
thank
Bye,
you
Jo.
so
Bye,
much.
Kristina.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
Kristina.
you.
Kristina, what are your thoughts about 9 on the spot? Because I find it to be, honestly, a lot of people find it to be so much more difficult. I personally like the 9 on the spot.
I love it because it's nine just on a one on the spot is just it gets to something routinely like exhausting when you just watch this. It's similar breaks and there's no excitement as we mentioned earlier. If we need more excitement in the game, the break shouldn't be that easy and just the run out
Right.
shouldn't be that easy.
Right. And JoAnn,
Right.
what are your thoughts on that?
I have to be really straight. I don't really have a great opinion on it because I haven't played with the 9 on the spot enough. I only played one tournament in this whole comeback inside of the last year with the 9 on the spot. So I don't have enough experience with it to really give a good opinion on it. But I'll air to Kristina since she seems to speak very well of it. So I'll
Yeah,
practice with it a little bit and I'll let you know. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, I'd like that. I like that because I've tried the 9 on the spot just recently, and the more I played it, the more I actually liked it. To be quite honest,
Right. I think
yeah.
you probably have to hold back hitting them as hard because you probably fly off the table more because it's closer. The one is closer to you, and if you have a strong break, then that cue ball you need to really pay attention that you're not going to have a problem with it. Am I right about that, Kristina?
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't have to worry about that because I don't have a very strong break. I don't, so I don't have to worry about that. But for somebody like Kristina, and I've seen her break, or gosh, you have a great break. I've seen yours, Kelly, Allison. Who I watched someone at the Northern Lights, and I saw the break, and my jaw dropped. Was it Monica? Monica has an amazing break too. Yeah, yeah.
She does break them hard.
Yeah, she does. She does. So
Can I just
so I think
ask
that,
one question? Can I just ask a question? This is totally off.
and
track.
and then I
We're
wanted to
talking about
close
breaking.
on we were going to take maybe like 3 questions, and I had one that was set up. But yeah, no, I want you to please go ahead, JoAnn.
I would just pose it to the audience, whoever it is that's watching, and maybe for the next time we'll answer this question. What is the most important thing to do on the break? And I'm not going to say anything past that, but that's a question for the audience. And then maybe the next time we get together, we can remember it, Gloria, and we'll see. People can write in now what they think, and then I will give my opinion on the answer when we come back.
Okay. All right, that's fair enough. And if Kristina, is it okay that Kristina says what she thinks about that?
No, not yet. Not yet. She's got
Not
to
yet.
come
So
back.
you don't want anybody to say it. Okay.
No, don't say it, because she probably knows the right answer.
Is
At
there
least I
really
hope she- I would
definitely a right
assume she
answer?
does.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Oh, there is a right answer.
Okay. So somebody had asked not scratch, somebody just wrote. I don't know if that's it, but maybe. Somebody was on last time, Kristina and JoAnn, and said, I'm going to actually read it verbatim, all right, because I don't like to paraphrase the words of other people. I feel that can just doesn't seem. So basically, I am just stumped at the lack of packages from WPBA players and have been for years, etc., etc. I would love to hear your thoughts in regard to chance to send me a link to any 3-pack or more by WPBA player in a tournament or practice session for that matter. Now, for me, whether it's PBA, WPBA or not, I just want to. We're down to just a few viewers, so but I just wanted to follow. Okay, so Laura says follow through, don't move forward, not scratching. But anyway, JoAnn and then Kristina, please. Have either of you ever run a 3-pack?
In a row?
Yeah, three racks in a row.
On a 9-ball?
What is your high run, Kristina?
On a tournament, honestly, I don't even know, but I would think it's 3 or 4, something like this. Of 9 balls.
Yeah, 9-ball. Yeah. So
I ran a 5 and out against Vivian when I was in my prime.
Okay, so we got a 5 and out, and then we had
high run,
Jeanette.
but I know that that's nothing compared to the guys.
But does it make a difference if it's compared to the guys? He was just strictly asking any, in all caps, 3-pack or more by any WPBA player. Now, personally, I don't care if it's WPBA or an amateur. Yes, women do run 3-packs, just for the record. I might not. Maybe when I was a little bit younger and didn't do the behind-the-scenes work and got really, really lucky. Who was it you were talking about, JoAnn? Jeanette? 7-0? 7 in a row? Is that it?
I don't know. No, I said I ran 5 and out against Vivian back in the day when I was playing on tour.
Oh, it was Monica I was talking to, where she told me that Jeanette, I can't remember who Jeanette played, but she said that she ran 7.
Hey guys, I'm really sorry, but I gotta leave too.
No, that's okay. We're just tying up. We usually only try to go 30 to 45 minutes. We've been on the hour. So
let's take a nap.
Yeah. So Kristina, thank you so much. We appreciate you stopping in.
Good to see you,
We'd love to have you. Yeah, we'd love to have you on for an interview sometime, just like a one-on-one where we can talk about things that you've done, accomplishments. And are you going to be playing anywhere soon?
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow for a tournament in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And I go to Wisconsin for kind of exhibition thing, and then to Vegas, DC. So it's kind of full.
Good to hear. We'll be looking for your updates for sure.
Thank you so much.
Good luck and play well. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
JoAnn, it's just us. We're just gonna head off. Curtis is pointing in my face, but you can't see it. So Curtis is like, just try and say goodbye just once, maybe twice, Gloria.
Good night.
So yeah, when Monica comes back on, I want Monica to talk about. And I apologize, I got you and Monica because
that's okay.
The confused there. But she's told me a lot about that. So that answers your question. That was for Todd, by the way. We were going to do some questions. I think we're going to have to wait on that, though. But we do have the answers here, some of the answers. And next time we're there, JoAnn will bring it up.
I've got it written down, and I'll go through and I'll find.
Cool.
I'll see if I can get
we'll pull them out.
the best answers.
Yes, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in. We're getting there. Please like, follow, share. We're getting there. We were at 25 viewers, which is not bad for our third. This is our 4th time here. 25 consistent viewers for some time until we started having the musical windows, which is fine. You know, it happens. But yeah, please like, follow, share, tell people about this. I wanted to also state that I'm going to talk to the panel, JoAnn, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit later or tomorrow about something that I'm thinking about implementing here that I think would really, really gain a lot of publicity and help us
Okay. Good.
in the long run.
All
So
right.
thank you so
Mwah.
much. Mwah to you too.
Love
Nice
you.
patch, by the way. I love you too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a super
And
night.
you too, JoAnn. Thank you so much. Okay.
See you
So long.
soon. Bye.